Happy Friday, beautiful souls, and welcome to Spiritually Her. This is your safe space to explore the magic of inner work, grow your confidence, and embrace your self worth as the ultimate superpower. I'm Terrika Surrenity, your host and guide on this transformative journey. Here, we're breaking barriers, we're rewriting our stories, and stepping fully into that girl energy together. So grab your favorite drink, let's settle in, and let's vibe. Your next level starts right now. All right, guys. Hi. Listen, give me grace today because I know that we normally do our episodes on Friday. But guys, I was swamped with work and everything that I needed just a little bit of sleep, especially from traveling, getting back home, getting back into the swing of things, not taking an additional 2 to 3 days off after my trip. I literally just went straight back to work, like off the plane, shower, sleep, back at work, and I wish I would have taken that time. But that's okay because I'm here now and nothing happens without a reason. So, welcome to our Spiritually Her Saturday episode. And I'm glad that you guys are here because we need to talk about some things, all right? First, I want to give a little promotion to my barista, which is myself, for making this bomb ass strawberry matcha this morning. And it's giving me life. So, guys, if you want the recipe, slide in the DMs, like comment, whatever. I got you. You won't regret it. I promise. And it's easy as fuck. Like, I'm not really a barista and I have no experience, but I am a matcha connoisseur. So I got you. All right. All right. Now that that's said, and I'm hyped off this green tea matcha. But anyway, I want to just really like talk to you guys about this topic for today. I feel like we need to talk. The girls, we need to talk because this dating scene right now, it's it's wild, right? It's giving, God, can you please send me someone that's healed? And God is like, yeah, I already did. And that person is you, right? Like, let that click in. That healed person that you've been praying for is you, all right? Like, we're in this era where everyone says that they want love, but nobody wants to actually do love. They want the attention, the validation, hell, the thrill, but not the soul work that actually comes with having a genuine connection with someone, right? And if you are also a spiritual person, spiritual woman, I believe that you are because hence we're on Spiritually Her. But if you've been evolving, healing, which we all have been doing, listening to these episodes, we've been on this path and journey together. We've been learning how to protect our peace. Listen, dating can either drain you or deeply mirror you. But one thing that I've learned is it's all about perspective, right? Because every almost relationship, every talking stage, every situationship, red flag that you've walked away from, it's teaching you something about how deeply you love yourself. All right. So I just want to go into a little life update with you guys. I know that ooh, several episodes ago I was telling you guys about a long distance relationship that I was doing that has come to a close, and that's okay. You know, it was bitter, sweet, at the same time, you know? And I don't want to say like sweet as in like, oh, thank God. But no, it was like, it was bitter because it was like, damn, I hate that that happened. But it wasn't any animosity. I am grateful for the connection that I had and the time that we did have together because I feel like I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about them. And I can only pray and hope that they learned the same thing about themselves and that our time together, our season together, was something to align them more with what's for them, you know? So if you are listening, I wish you nothing but the best. No harm, no foul. I love you still, regardless. But now that your girl is single, um, it's like when you really get back into the dating scene or just your dating in general, you realize that the certain things that you encounter or experience are things that you can actually give yourself. And once you have that understanding, it is eye opening. All right. So here's this thing that, or experience that actually happened to me a while ago, like it's a really long time ago, but not really long, but maybe like last year. But it was this guy who wanted to take me out on a date, and he kept saying like, "Oh, we're gonna go on this picnic date. I'm gonna take you on this picnic date, and you know, we're gonna have like the fruits, we're gonna have this, whatever. We're gonna be by the water." And for me, I was like, I've always wanted to do that. Like, that would be so dope. And so we set a date for it. But when we set the date for it, like the weather wasn't the best, so we ended up rescheduling. I can't lie, I was a little bit bummed. The next time, it was like our scheduling just wasn't in alignment. I was free, he wasn't free. And I remember hearing Spirit say, "Why are you waiting for him to take you on a picnic if that's something that you've always wanted to do? Why are you waiting for someone else to validate that experience? You're waiting for someone else to give you that experience, to have that moment. Nothing is stopping you from having that moment right now. Why don't you give yourself that?" And guys, I took myself on that picnic and it was the best thing, right? So I had like my cover, my blanket. I made me a sandwich. I had fruit. I had my cards. I had my journal. I had my headphones. I wore this pretty orange dress. I was out in the sun. Like, guys, it was the best experience, okay? And by the time that him and I actually did our picnic, it was not the same vibes. Like, it was cool. Like, he brought liquor and stuff. Like, cool, I'm cool, what for a good drink. But I don't know. He did the best. He did the best that he could, and it was cool. But I don't know. Out there by the water, I was getting beat up by mosquitoes. I'm a nature girly, but I'm not that good in like nature. That close to the water and that close to like the trees and shit. Like, I was afraid that a snake was gonna come get me or whatever. But let's just say the tequila helped out with that. But um, needless to say, and after that date, that was our first and last date. And I quickly knew that that wasn't a connection that I wanted to pour into any longer. So I'm saying all that to say, stop waiting on someone else who might not even be your knight in shining armor. They may not even be your person. And you're waiting for them to create this atmosphere of love or experience for you when you can literally set the tone, set the mood, set the standard for yourself. And once I had that analogy and Spirit told me that, I was like, well, what am I waiting on? Right? So, another thing, and when you also have like the spiritual lens on when it comes to dating, you see things in a totally different perspective because you're tapped in. Like, guys, I kid you not, like doing the inner work you don't date the same. I know, like, back when I was younger, I might, like, chase, like, the chaos, because sometimes our nervous system doesn't even recognize it. Like, I feel like when I was younger, I was in that flight or flight nervous system. So I kept attracting situations that were aligned with my nervous system. But now that I have learned to calm my nervous system doesn't even allow me to be attracted to that anymore. Like, you literally no longer cling to potential because you've met your own potential. You don't beg for energy that doesn't even match yours because finally you recognize that peace is the ultimate prize. Okay? Being spiritual in this generation sometimes feels like a disadvantage, because you feel everything. Like, you guys get it. And I'm sure it's like tons of empaths and etc. that listens to this podcast. And you feel it. You feel everything. You see through people's performances, the masks, the intentions before they even speak. But oftentimes we can view that as a curse when ultimately it is our protection of ourselves. And I know sometimes we may fall into the idea that, oh my God, am I being too picky? No, you're not being too picky because you know what you want. You're being aware. And understand that there's a difference between being judgmental and being discerning. Every time that you're saying, like, nah, that's not for me, I need you to understand that you're not missing out. You are simply choosing yourself. And, baby girl, that is a power move. I need you to let that sink in. Because sometimes as women, like, we really can make ourselves feel guilty for choosing ourselves. Maybe because we've heard so many times that we were too picky, that we were bougie. We have too many standards. And sometimes in dating, when other people feel like your standards are too high, that's because they realize that they're not able to reach it. And then they try to knock you down on your pedestal. They try to knock you down. Like, how dare you? The audacity that you feel like I need to reach all of these boundaries or standards for you. You're not all that. You're not this. And then they try to knock you down, but just realize that that's only because they want to be attainable. So they have to knock you down a few notches in order to do so. But keep your head high, crown on your head, and realize your self-worth. All right? Another thing that I want to talk about as women dating. We have this ick, right? Guys, I'm quick to get that ick. Once I get that ick, it is over with. And you're blocked. Okay? Very quick. I just want to give like a quick little story, guys. It was this guy. Actually, earlier this week, I was at the gas station. And I'm pumping my gas, whatever. This guy pulls up. Nice car, whatever. He's handsome. Whoop-de-doo. And he rolls his window down. He's like, hey, I feel like I know you're from somewhere. And I was like, well, I don't know what you would know me from. And he was like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, Serenity and blah, 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 blah. So he's like, oh, you're very attractive. I would love to get to know you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm open. So, yeah, sure. We exchanged numbers, and literally later that night, he called me, and you guys know I wake up like really early because I'm a school teacher, and I need all of the sleep that I could possibly get. But he called, and he's just like, oh, you're in the bed? And I'm like, yeah, I got to go to work in the morning. And he's like, you're not going to stay up for me? First red flag. First red flag. In order for me to lose sleep, For you, I gotta really care about you very bad. And, sir, I don't know you. I don't know you. So, no, no, I'm not staying up. And he's like, oh, well, damn. Okay, well, I want to know, like, do you drink? And to me, guys, when I ultimately hear as like the first few questions, if I drink, I feel like that's a guy that just wants to get me drunk. And so, but I didn't, go off the deep end. I'm just like, socially sometimes. And he's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe we can go get drinks or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe that'll be cool. And so he was like, well, you know, I'm a night owl. I stay out late and stuff like that, but you gonna have to stay up late with me. And I was like, we'll see. And I was like, yeah, but you have a good night. I'm gonna go get some rest and maybe I can talk to you tomorrow or whenever you're free. And he's like, okay, cool. We get off the phone. And he immediately texts me. He's like, can you send me pictures of you? And so I'm like, ugh. I'm already getting the ick. But I'm like, you know what? Here's a photo. Hi. And it's just a cute, classy photo, selfie. Here I am. All of a sudden, he texts us and he's like, where's your body? And I said, it's connected to my head. What the fuck do you mean, where's my body? And he's like, well, I want to see that too. And I said, well, you saw it at the gas station, and I don't really feel like selling those types of pictures because my intuition is saying that, honestly, he wants to know if I'm drinking or if I drink. You want to see my body. You already saw my body today, but you want pictures of my body, and that's giving me like red flag number one. This nigga just want to fuck. This nigga just want to fuck. This nigga just trying to get you to loosen up because this nigga trying to fuck. And yeah. And so my initial thing was like, I just sent you a picture. How about you send me a picture of yourself? No response. No response. So here's the thing. Like, you have all of these requests for me. You want me to send you a picture. You want me to send you this. You, like, nah. You, first off, you already interrupted my sleep. I'm getting pissed. And you're asking me for shit that you're not willing to send either. Get the fuck off my phone. And immediately I was like, and you're blocked. And yeah, blocked, deleted. Yeah, cool. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time. And honestly, sir, I didn't even see you step out of your fucking car. So I don't even know your fucking height. You could be 3 foot fucking 5. Okay? I don't even know that. You saw a whole fucking visual of me. All I saw was your face and your hands on your steering wheel. You could have came out there and been a little person. No judgment. No judgment. So if you are a little person, hey, no judgment. But still, no. So you're asking me for stuff that you are not willing to send. Red flag, blocked, ain't got time. So yeah, that was my whole thing. I get the ick very quickly. And I have this conversation with my friends too. Like, us as women, once you're reaching a certain age, it's like certain things just like, ugh. Like, it's like, ugh, no, I can't do it. All right? So guys, think about what your ick is, right? All right. If you haven't experienced the ick, like, the ick is real. And it's not just about somebody's habits, right? That is literally your spirit rejecting energy that's not in alignment anymore. Okay? That moment when you feel that ugh in your gut after someone texts you something dry or they give you half-ass effort, that is literally your intuition saying, we've outgrown this. We don't want any more of this. The ache is your body remembering what peace felt like. And it's refusing to go back to confusion, go back to toxicity, go back to surface level shit. So instead of judging yourself for being hard to please, start thanking your body for alerting you, because that's growth. That's growth, baby girl. And another thing when it comes to dating, when dating is a mirror, you're going to know exactly how that person mirrors you. Every connection that you attract, even the wrong ones, are mirrors. They show you something about who you are with yourself. So if you have people that had love bombed you, that showed you how much you crave consistency. If you have a person that have ghosted you, they showed you where abandonment still stings. The person who triggered you exposed the wound that's ready to be healed. So instead of saying, why does this keep happening to me? Or what is this teaching me? Oh, actually, ask yourself, what is it teaching you about you? This is not the time to like victimize yourself. Instead, like, okay, I had this encounter and this connection with this person. What is this teaching me about myself? Because when you start dating consciously, every situation becomes a course on self-love in disguise, okay? Like, you have to train yourself to have that perspective. And honestly, when you do train yourself to have that perspective, it is a little bit more easier to get through those transitions or those endings and those changes that happens in connections. But when you go through like the ick phase, the dating phase, or even recognizing when you're being mirrored or triggered or whatever by this connection or person, the power of staying open to the next connection, staying open to the next relationship, the next person who might be in alignment with you. That is the ultimate like power, I feel, because a lot of people get hurt in situations and connections and relationships and they close themselves off to where now they're not being aligned to the person that can help them grow or the person that could help them realize even more about themselves. Realizing that being self-aware doesn't mean being closed off. It is a lot of spiritual women that get stuck here. I know myself, I got stuck there for a period, right? We can go from I'm healed to I don't need nobody, all right? And while that's empowering, it's also a shield. Being spiritual isn't about isolating yourself. Yeah, it's cool that it's about discernment, but it's also about being open, but not just being available to just anything. You can be soft, you can be sacred, and you can also be intuitive and still desire love. You can want the connection without compromising your peace. You can believe in the divine timing and put yourself out there. You don't have to fear every connection like it's a test. And as much as I'm saying that to you guys, I am saying that to myself because everything is not here to test you. Even sometimes it's a blessing disguised as a trigger. It is some type of lesson. It is some type of realization. It is some type of blessing. So be open to love in all forms, even if it doesn't look like your type or your usual path, because alignment doesn't always show up how we expect it, but it always feels like peace. And don't be afraid of peace. If you find yourself being triggered by someone who is peace, love, light, and they feel like comfort or home to you, a lot of people, we can get afraid of that. Because, like, why does it feel too good? Something's around the corner. Like, that is literally your nervous system that has been trained in trauma. in chaos, allow yourself to feel peace. Understand that you are deserving of peace, deserving of love, deserving of all these things. That is why it is very important in your single stage to train your nervous system in love. And that comes from that self-love first. Train your nervous system to expect ease, expect love, expect grace, expect to be fueled, to not feel like someone is going to throw a shoe at you around the corner. I don't know where the analogy came from, but nobody's gonna don't train yourself to expect something unexpected and harmful to you around the corner. Allow yourself to go through ease and peace. Because like I said, the ultimate love is the self-love. And I feel like, I'm not even going to say I feel like, I know that that is the number one step when it comes to aligning with your soulmate, your person, having that self-love glow up. The more that you love on yourself, the smaller your dating pool gets. Because that's not a bad thing. Because you stop auditioning for energy that doesn't deserve you. You start to realize that the goal isn't to just be chosen. Like it is to choose yourself so fiercely that whoever enters your life has to match that vibration. So can you imagine that if you looked in the mirror and loved every aspect of yourself and you did not shorten yourself from experiences, from adventures, from opportunities, from laughter, from happiness, from expectations of love and grace and alignment and abundance in all ways and all forms? Can you imagine if you have that vibration with yourself, that only someone who matches that or tops it will be able to step in? Like that, it's like you have to project that first. And then when someone sees how you treat you, how do you treat you? You set the standard. You are the blueprint to that. That way they have no choice but to match it. Being spiritual and dating, it doesn't mean that you are like floating above like human emotions. It's like, it means you stop begging people to give you what you've already given yourself. You give yourself the validation. You give yourself the attention, the softness, and you give yourself the care. The way you speak to yourself after a heartbreak, that's self-love. The way you walk away without closure, that's self-trust. The way you keep showing up open-hearted even after disappointment and disappointment, that is resilience. And y'all know, I say this all the time, you're the prize. Period. And I'm not just saying that you're the prize to someone else, you're the prize to your damn self. So let this be your reminder. Okay, number one, you're not doing too much for wanting connection that feels safe and reciprocal. You're just in a world that is used to women settling for crumbs and calling it love. You are the experience. You are the reward. You are the peace people look for in the middle of chaos. And if they can't handle it, then let them miss out. What does Mel Robbins say? Let them. Keep your energy sacred. Keep your heart soft. Keep your standards loud as fuck. Okay? Because you don't need a relationship to feel complete. You need alignment to feel whole. And when love does find you, it won't confuse you, it won't drain you, or even question your worth. It'll match your frequency. So listen, go into this Saturday, this weekend, remembering you're not waiting to be chosen. You're choosing yourself in every moment. And that, my love, is the ultimate glow up. All right, guys. I hope this episode resonated with you guys. And listen, if you have like dating questions that you want us to go over, you want me to answer on the podcast, listen, you know where to find me. Find me on all of my socials. You can message me on TikTok at Serenity 101. Follow me on my Instagram, which is Spiritually Her Podcast. Guys, I don't know why I forgot my socials. Or my personal Instagram, which is Serenity. Oh, I am Serenity. And yeah, or just simply comment here. Share this episode with your friends, your family, whoever needs to hear this. Download it, save it for yourself. Listen to it while you're in your soft girl era, your dating era, your self-love journey. And know that I'm here with you guys. And I love the community that we're building. We're doing some amazing things. I love you guys. I hope you know it. I hope you feel it more than anything. All right. Until next time, I love you. I mean it. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Spiritually Her. I hope you felt inspired, empowered, and ready to take the next step on your journey. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's keep the conversation going. You can connect with me on TikTok at Serenity101. That's SURRENITY 101. And on Instagram at spiritually.her. I love to hear your thoughts, breakthroughs, or even what topics you want to dive into next. Until next time, remember, your power is already within you. Keep shining and simply stay spiritually her. Bye!